For this meditation, you will need a pen and a piece of paper, and 10 or so minutes to yourself for some silence and some contemplation. This meditation will help you look at a worry you may be experiencing in a logical and non-emotional way. It will take the emotion and indecision out of decision making and will quietly challenge those future thoughts and our tendency to think ahead, worry and think the worst. Like all meditations we undertake in this program, this process will help you stay in the now and not find yourself in the future, predicting or trying to predict what will happen. You will be looking logically at the worries you encounter to help you find solutions to your difficulties, and you'll only be using wisdom from the past and fact to help you arrive at the right decision. So, without further ado, I want you to settle yourself on your breath initially, breathing in and holding your breath for 4 seconds now. Then breathing out very slowly, making your descending breath last as long as possible. Repeating this process for a few more breaths. Now, once you've settled, I'd like you to think of something which has been bothering you lately, perhaps a worry you might be having about something which has not happened yet. Start with something minor initially before working up to something more troubling as you get used to undertaking this process. Think about an issue for a moment before answering each question instinctively with what initially comes to mind. So firstly, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What do you think might actually happen? Go on and just write down what instinctively comes to mind, no matter how severe or brutal it might sound. Write it down. It's important you do so, as these are genuine worries your mind is occupied with right now. So please feel safe to write it down, as we will work through it and find you the answers you need right now to allow you some peace of mind. Now take a deep breath and hold your breath once again for 4 seconds before slowly blowing it down all the way back to your stomach again, letting the shoulders drop down and releasing any tension within them with the breath you take. We've got this, and you're helping yourself immensely right now by working through your difficulty within this meditation, as you are giving the executive functioning of your brain chance to become activated to enable you to make a sound decision now. Okay, so now we've got the worry, let's delve a little bit further. So ask yourself now, what do you think might actually happen? So what theories or evidence do you base your decisions of likelihood upon? What evidence tells you that this outcome is likely to happen? Do you have hard fact, an experience, or some way of definitely predicting that this outcome will actually happen? Would this stand up to interrogation in a court of law, i.e., if a jury had to determine whether your outcome was likely to happen based on hard facts and evidence you give, would they decide that your feared outcome was actually probable? Think about that for a minute now. Imagine the court scenario now, and the judge saying, based on the hard evidence presented today, we rule that this outcome is likely or unlikely to happen. Okay, if the answer is no at this stage, make sure you write that down. Write down, there is no hard fact or evidence that my feared outcome will actually happen. And realise that your brain's emergency response centre, i.e. the amygdala, is making the decisions here and not your fully coordinated brain. Keep meditating on this difficulty, and eventually you will begin to accept that things will work out okay, and it is your emotion towards the fear of the situation rather than the actual situation which is causing you worry. However, if these are actually real founded worries and you can see a factual evidence base to determine your feared outcome, let's examine this outcome now and take the fear away from it and make you feel able to cope with the worst outcome, if that should happen. So, take your time with this next one to make as much notes as possible, which can then inform your future responses should that undesired outcome happen. So ask yourself, what have other people done in similar situations? Think about people you look up to, friends, family, anybody who has experienced the same as you. Write down what actions they took to prevent the worst from happening. Think about the people you look up to, friends, family, anybody who has experienced the same as you. Write down what actions they took to prevent the worst from happening. And also write down what they did to help them through this situation. What have you done in similar situations which might work? Remember that if these actions have been successful in the past, then they have the potential to be successful again. Write down a list of what you've done in similar situations now. Well done, you've just worked out how to deal with your difficulty. So now you do have ideas of how to respond to it. And should you continue to worry, keep coming back to this meditation to see if you can find other answers and ideas. And before you know it, you will have listed answers to every single eventuality and occurrence, and you will be more than capable of finding the right solution to your challenge. So, in conclusion, if there is something you can do to prepare for or prevent this worry, then list it and do it. However, if there isn't, you must just accept that you cannot change this situation. You can only prepare yourself and keep your thoughts positive, knowing that you have done the best you can do. Worrying further will only rob your energy, And you do need this energy now to put back into other parts of your life which you can change. So if you do worry and meditate, and at least use the time you worry more productively within a meditation. You get to problem solve effectively as well as relax well too. So without further ado now, I'd like us to complete the meditation by recognizing and releasing any leftover tension within our bodies now, like we did during the tension release meditation. Starting with the face first, raise your eyebrows and smile as wide as possible at the same time. Hold and relax. Pull your head back to look upwards. Hold, then slowly return your head back to center. If you like now, slowly roll your head in circles, knowing you've released tension when you hear those familiar crackles of confirmation. And breathe. Raise the shoulders, hold, then return them. Now roll them forwards, then backwards, letting the arms drop down the sides. Now I want you to go through the whole body now, tensing each region, then releasing it. So perhaps breathing and pulling in your chest on your in-breath before releasing it on your out-breath. Holding in your stomach on your in-breath, then releasing it on your out-breath. Moving the shoulder blades backwards and towards each other on the in-breath before releasing them, then moving to your lower back. This time, see if you can put your focus on each region and see yourself tensing each region up before moving on to your next region and releasing it, and so on and such forth. Imagining each muscle almost moving upwards before releasing downwards on the out-breath, releasing all tension out. Moving your focus throughout your whole body. Go through the whole body, tensing, then releasing any leftover tension. Now come back to the breath, putting all your focus back on your breath. Breathing and existing within this moment. And now, when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and allow yourself just to come back to this moment, feeling relaxed and ready to continue with your day.